Okay, so let's move this one a bit. Yep. I think the stream is up. The title is an old one, so let's change that. Will we make 11 April? Alright. Let's change some of the description as well. Get your brand new hardware, ZX Spectrum hardware, at zxspectrum.shop. Okay. Let me check if everything is set up correctly, because I haven't checked. I should have done this before. I know. Language, let's see. Yes, save. What else can I change? Hey, Wayne, good evening. Let me check. Will we make 11 April? I think I'm missing some settings here. Let me check. Live chat is enabled. Let's put in some commercials. Yeah, okay. I think we're set up. Right. Let's share the stream. Will right. Oh, I can hear myself twice. I hate that. Right. Facebook. Twitter. And we're live. That's one. Let's put it in the ZX Spectrum groups. Oops. And in the meantime, I'm talking to Patrick about microphones. And the reason I do not especially like this fine microphone, this wireless microphone, is because there is a lot of noise. And also I need to enable some very drastic noise filters to get some quality out of it. Okay. And now one tweet. Send out one tweet. Tweet. And we're live. Tweet. Right. Hey, good evening, Angel. Nuno, good evening. Everyone wants their machine fixed live at this moment. Of course. And I wish I could do it in. I could do 40 machines in an hour or something, but that's impossible. Okay, we'll check out the microphone discussion later on. I hope the quality is okay. Again, myself, I think this microphone picks up too much noise. I need to enable two filters, an equalizer filter and a noise filter, to get something out of it, because otherwise it's really noisy. Work faster. I will. In a moment, but not too fast, because I'm still coping with hay fever a lot. So the good thing is the camera's on my left side at this moment, because the tears come out on the right side. But it's just hay fever, nothing special, and I'm quite exhausted because I don't sleep well because of the hay fever. But anyway, and I've been drinking some tea, the real Earl Grey tea, of course, with some honey. I like that. So let's get it on. Sound is good. Okay, thank you. Alright, let's see. We have a beautiful toast rack here, which does need some cleaning, but it's hardly noticeable on the camera, I see. But we'll give it a brush. Maybe I will do it out of the live stream, because I have to get to the sink downstairs to actually do that. The title is Will we make 11 April? got no milk in it. I don't like milk in my tea. Sorry. I don't drink milk in my coffee. I don't drink milk in my tea. I only drink milk in oatmeal. No, and fat milk. I like fat milk. Anyway, and chocolate milk, of course. We'll make 11 April. On status.bytedelight.com there is a note about myself setting some deadlines, some goals, some targets. And I had to put in some dates, and for some reason I got 11 April, maybe because it's over a month, because I put it on yesterday. I think that's it. There's a rum in it, yeah. There's a lot of noise in it. And I already filtered some out. Anyway. I don't think 11 April is really realistic, because behind me you can see on the shelf there's a lot of boxes, and on the ground there are even more, especially the stack of boxes from Wayne. I will get to it, Wayne. Sorry for that. Sorry for all the delays. But there are some other things that need to be taken care of as well, especially taxes and all that shit. Anyway, oh sorry, I shouldn't curse, because I said to YouTube I don't curse. Anyway, no one here heard that, I think. Hey Lewis, good evening. Gigi, good evening. Right, a lot of messages are coming in. Let's crack this toast rack open in a nice way. And let's get it going. I don't have background music at the moment. Maybe not tonight. If anyone would like some background music, let me know. It's always hard because the camera is more here and I work here. Oh, there are some non-standard screws in here, so if it's possible I will replace them with original screws. And in my back you can also see the laboratory cam, the webcam, live stream, from obviously SpaceX launch pad with the serial number 11 on it, which I like to watch as much as I can, all the live streams there. And they might do a static fire test. While the road is closed since 8 AM in Boca Chica, but there has been no update, so I'm not sure. There's not much activity in there, so maybe they will do a static fire test, which will be cool in the background, you know. If you like spaceships, starships, then get over to La Padre or NASA Spaceflight YouTube channels. Right, I haven't booted this one up yet. I will do it in a second. But the membrane is obviously tearing apart, which is with many of these machines, because these are old and original. There's even some caterpillar or stuff here, so it needs to be cleaned. But as I said, I won't do that now because I want to clean it thoroughly, as I always do. This needs some glue on it, some hot glue, just make sure it won't come off during shipping or something. And alright, this machine is probably just working fine. We have to do a check, but what we need is obviously a heatsink on a ULA chip. I will replace the Zone 805 regulator, but I will not use a Traco Power or Recom, because those are limited to 1 amperes, and this one is a 2 ampere version. And the toast rack itself uses about 0.7 amperes, so it's quite close to the max of a Traco Power regulator if I would put in one. Hey Mark, good evening. Who else is here? Mehmet, good evening. Oh, it's your birthday, okay. Maybe. You could also say it's twice one April Fools. I needed some tea. No more coffee today. I have some alcohol here for my health, but I need more sleep. But it's hard, obviously, with all the responsibilities you have as a parent, you know, and with jobs and all that sort of stuff. I like tea sometimes. Not always. I mostly drink coffee, beer, wine, vodka, sometimes. Alright. Hey, Rainier, good evening. Yeah, that's what I said, Meg, to the owner of this machine. I said I personally prefer to keep the heatsink warm because it's as it's designed, and maybe I should find some 2 ampere versions of the DC-DC converters instead of the 1 amperes from Trigger Power or something else, because if someone wants a cool heatsink, then it could be better. But there's no reason for replacing the voltage regulators. It won't do anything to the internals of the machine, only for the warmth at the right side. So exactly. Yeah. The serial number 10 stream, Wayne, was quite cool. I really was fooled. Already was posting out Facebook messages about the success of the landing, and then it blew up. Oh man. But they don't get hot enough. Well, some do. Especially if you put on things like this here. Just got this one in, so it's cool to unpack. What is in here? Does anyone know what's in here? Maybe I should gently put it closer. What's in here? Anyone knows? I guess some of you will. What's in here? 8 minutes, yeah. So, but anyway, there was a successful mission, because the landing was not exactly part of the mission, you know. It was mainly the control of the starship, and they succeeded in that, so that was awesome. Yeah, there are some disks in here, but obviously this is a Disciple disk interface. In my opinion, the coolest interface ever made for the ZX Spectrum back then. Nowadays you have all kinds of other stuff, you know. But, this is a Disciple interface, and the labels almost come up, so we will push it a bit. It's in quite good shape, except that it seems that one button has been replaced, button cap, not a big deal. This interface has a 7805 regulator itself. I think, yeah, it does. But still, it will load the 7805 regulator of the toast rack, for example, quite a bit. And on my page, on my website about power dissipation of ZX Spectrum setups, you will see how much it does. Let me check. Power measurements, ByteDelight. What does it say? Is Disciple in here? No, it's not. Too bad. ByteDelight is here, but ByteDelight does actually not use a 7805 itself. It cheaped out. But let's share the screen. Why not? Where is my OBS? It's there. So, oh, I don't see myself anymore. What? You can hear me, I think. Let me check. Here. Sound is still here. So this is I put some measurements on here, and you can see that a toast rack uses 0.75 amperes at 5 volts. So that's quite close to 1 amperes if you use a Trigger Power regulator. It will work, but when you attach some stuff, it might get to the point that it switches off, and you don't want that. For example, if you use ZX HD, it will consume 0.14 amperes more, including the Raspberry Pi Zero. ZXAY 0.1. The div-IDE interface with the 3 GAL chips on it, and the ROM and RAM chip consumes 0.21, and then you will really overload the 1 ampere voltage regulator or DC-DC converter. And the ByteDelight, especially if you put it on a toast rack, it will consume more than 1 ampere in total. So that's what I wanted to just clear out, so people know. Alright. You can find info if you Google for it. It's easy to find. Let's see. Hey, Franco. TS20068 will be done when... I have all the parts now, but I'm afraid that it will take more time than I expect, because the power circuit of the machine is not simple. it's quite complex. And I hope if I just replace all the parts, it will work again. We have to see about that. But again, as I said, I want to do it within a month. All the backlog of it. It will be hard because there are some other things that need to be done as well in the meantime. And since I'm catched up with production, just a couple of orders left here, and these are only for ZX HDs and Harlequin kits, which are almost done as well. I can show you. This is because this is cool. You can take a look in the kitchen here. So these are Harlequin boards, including manual, and of course the mats with the parts and the bags need to be added as well. I have them here, but the bags are filled. So all the bags here. These are done and checked, and the mats with the sockets are done, but the other side will contain the chips itself, and those are not on there yet, so these need to be done, and then some ZX HDs. And then I'm catched up, which is a cool thing, and I want to keep up with it. So, I try to do some things good, in a good way. But not everything. It's impossible. It's impossible to do everything right, you know. Alright. Sorry for camera bumps. Cool. Yeah, I'm reading the chat. Sorry for a delay. We'll continue with this machine here. So first things first. This is a Harlequin board machine, of course. Let's zoom in on it. So this one, my good old Harlequin 128, which I always have in the neighborhood. But let's first see what this one does. I think it will just work. So this is my combi cable, comes with video, but also the connector for toast racks. And for sound we'll use the mic output. Alright, it's a working toast rack, as you can see. By the way, the camera which you're looking now at is slightly flickering, and that's because I ran out of USB ports on my workstation. So actually I'm using a cheap USB hub. I really need to replace it soon with something better. I'm not there yet. Anyway. I need to do some Harlequin kits myself. Could take a look at how many people are waiting for a Harlequin board, but assembled, and there are quite a lot. And really, it's time consuming. For example, if I look at the 40K assembled boards, then there are 5 people waiting for those. And if I look for 128K, I deleted the wrong one, just a second. You can see how many people are waiting for what, because they can leave their email address. Filter. And assembled. Wow! Really? Get out. 11 people are waiting for a Harlequin 128K assembled. Man, that's a lot of work. I will get there one day. So, yeah, there are 326 people waiting for more stuff. and the fun thing is that I'm already offering a lot of stuff, but not everything. Pro ones are not offered at this moment. And so people are waiting for so much stuff, man. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I will continue with everything. With some tea. I need it. So part 1 of the hay fever is almost finished, I think. But part 2 has to start because what's the English name for that tree? Let me check. Hazel is one, but the other one, oh, the elder. The elder is the one that I'm coping with at this moment. You can actually see some measurements in Holland here. I can show you if you're interested. if you're not interested, then just tell me to go on with other stuff, you know. So this is the website of, let me see where my OBS is again. There it is. This is the website of the Leids Universitair Medisch Centrum, LUMC. And it shows, let me just move some windows here, because I cannot see the chat. And it shows the measurements of last week, so until 8 March, so a couple of days ago. And the else is almost done now. There's still something in the air. I can feel it on my eyes. And I'm not sleeping that well because of I need some what do you call it? Lung medicine as well, lung medication as well. But if you go back a week, for example, this week, you can see here it peaks at much higher numbers. Let me zoom in for you. And if you go to the graph and see how much more it is compared to the average from last years. So the blue is the average, and this year this is the peak here. So it's a lot more than usual, and I really can feel it because of the chairs the whole day and sneezing and all this stuff. Anyway, I hate it. But it's not the worst, because the worst is still coming, and it's the birch. This one here, which has to start, as you can see here. There are some pollen in the air already, not measured here, but anyway, it will start soon, and it will be heavy as well, and that will affect my lungs even more. So that's what happens when you are coping with hay fever. I will live. Okay, the toast rack is warming up. Let me get back to that picture here. Yeah, it's still working. Hey Peter, hey Anthony, good evening. I think I can, if I have to make 11 assembled Harlequin boards, let me just do a quick calculation. I think I need 2 days, 2 full days to make 11. And I can ask my wife, and even sometimes my kids, to assist with putting in the through-hole parts. We've done it before, but not 11. We've done 4 boards at the same time, I think. And it was something like 5 hours or so. I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. I can't remember exactly. Hit the spectrum with a hammer. Why? Why? Don't you guys like text? Anyway. Right. Then we can click everything away so we can focus. Let me focus. So, first things first. It's not really hot at this moment. I can even put my thumb on the 5-volt regulator. So it's not the hottest machine. Maybe in an hour, after an hour or something, but without any add-ons, it's not too hot. The ULA chip is a lot hotter. Oh man, that's really, really warm. Almost painfully warm. So that really requires a heatsink. And of course we'll do all the capacitors. And let's start with that. And let's put this one, glue this one on. And we'll do some video improvements. Looks like picture quality is quite good, but that might be the television. But there are some improvements that could be done. But on the other hand, I know the owner is using ZX HD. So maybe I will not do the video improvement because it will remove the audio from the antenna output, and the toast rack has audio on the antenna output. So maybe I will leave it as it is. So let's see about it. I can see some smoke or phasing in the ByteDelight cam. So they're starting up the static fire test, I guess. But it will take at least 2 hours or something before they do that. Alright, let's get to the workbench here. So unfortunately, I don't think I will finish the refurbishment completely tonight because I need to do the keyboard as well. bad video crystal. Doesn't happen very often, but I have had 1 or 2 bad crystals in my life. Yeah, I like a pink ZX Spectrum. I have one myself, but I don't think I have it here. I think it's in my storage. Mine is a bit more towards orange, but very bright. It's a very bright color. It's a fluorescent orange, something like that. But it's pink orange. I like it. But I've done that before. We were able to get replacement cases, of course. Is there a good supplier for keyboard connectors you can recommend? Yeah, TME, I think. Let me check. You mean these ones here? And the 8 pole as well? 8 pin as well? Postal authorize them as well, that's true. I've seen them there as well, but I get them from TME, I think. In bulk, of course. I could offer them as well, but if someone else is offering them, then I don't see much need for that. Let me check connectors. Cool. Yeah, I get them from TME. Alright. Portuguese people talking. I like Portuguese beer. Alright, let's get it going. We'll get a small place for the screws and so. Oh, almost lost one already. And I wonder if I can use original screws. Yeah, these screws are, the thread of these screws are not too fat, too thick. So I can use original screws instead of these. I will do that, I like that. Okay. Let's get the heatsink off. Let's get the board out. Come out, come out, come out, come out. I have a magnetic screwdriver, but sometimes it will not work as I want. Okay. I think it's missing some rubber feet, and I'm afraid I don't have enough of those, but we'll take a look. Because it will sit better on rubber feet, of course. Okay, let's glue this one first, but I need to heat up the heat gun for that. It will take some time. And of course, be careful with these wires here because they're very gentle. They break easily, so I think I will glue them as well. And we'll put on a heatsink later on. We have to test if the Z80 is perfectly working fine. And what else do we need? Well, let's just get on with the capacitors. To make it easy, we have the capacitor map. So I can just remove all the capacitors and then put on new ones at the places on the map. The maps are available on ByteDelight as well, so just Google for capacitor maps, ByteDelight or capacitor maps ZX Spectrum, and you will find them. Well, I'm just checking if this common board version 6U is the same as on my picture, so that's perfectly fine. So I can just remove them and get the new ones in. Just a couple of checks to make sure polarity is okay. I'm not using this one that much. We'll just remove all the ones on here. And the good thing is on Toastrack it's all radial capacitors as well. Oh, sorry, axial. Instead of the +2, which uses radial capacitors, which I really don't like because you cannot use vis-a capacitors then. Oh, you can maybe find them, but I don't have them here. I only have other brands. Alright. And there's light. You can see it. Okay, now we have to wait a bit, and also the hot glue is heating up. So I want this to be at the correct place and stay there. But we'll remove the capacitors first. Let's do both sides, why not? Yeah, the edge connector needs a bit of cleaning. It's not that too bad. I think it's a reflection, but it's not that bad. It's not focusing, by the way. I disabled autofocus, but it's not that dirty. I bet it will work with any interface at this moment already, but of course I will clean it. It has been used, you can see. Oh, maybe to ask Tex, which add-ons have you been using in the past on this one? Only the ZXHD or something else like DivMC or so? Just wondering. That one was launched. Right. Oh. Okay, hot glue is hot. Let's put it on first. Not on enough, I think. Yeah, it's enough. We'll remove the excessive hot glue wires in a second, and of course the cable here. I think the cables are brittle because of the age as well, so these ones here, these wires. Alright. That's that. Oops, sorry. Okay. Let's remove the excess here. So this is sitting a lot better now. It's not moving anymore, which is important. These wires are protected a bit as well, which is also good. A bit more, and it's hot still, so we can use it. Right. Yeah, that's better. So that's first. Yeah, there are a lot of disc images, by the way, Mehmet. Thought you were gone. There is a complete archive of Outsoft disc images in one of the ZX Spectrum groups on Facebook. So you could take a look if they're still there. Otherwise, I might have it, but I'm not allowed to tell you that because those are all games from the past, and they might still contain copyright, you know. So be careful. But there's a crazy load of disc images out there, and in the past I sold all my Disciple stuff, and I really regret that because I had something like 100 discs as well, with all hacked games. And the Outsoft are not all hacked, and the hacked games were converted for Disciple and Plus D. And I sold it all, and I so regret it because I have no idea if I can ever find those again, which is a pain. But anyway, maybe we will. If anyone has a stack of hacked games on disc for Disciple, let me know. Maybe those were mine in the past, I don't know. It's a small world, mostly. Right. So I'm opening up the holes here, but of course I will First put on new solder. This will take some time, as always. It's not the most exciting, but it's good to see things on a toaster board. I like that. Of course, always be gentle, careful with solder blobs. Take a close look, know what you're doing. So I do them one by one. I could use the desolder station for this. I have to get the pins out. So, and this is the least intrusive way of actually removing the capacitors, because just putting on them will damage the pads a bit, and that's not a problem for the first time, but if you have to do it later, something like in 30 years or so, then the board will get damaged. It will be harder then. Just a second, I have to sneeze. The camera, sorry, the microphone. I bet it was picked up quite well. Sorry for that. And believe me, it's a lot less than a week ago. I hate large ground planes. Why did companies back then do that? I can't reach it. Nope. Need more solder. I think. Will this work? No, it will not. Okay, let's try it from the other side. Oh, those ground planes, I hate those. Yeah, but I will not use capacitors for ZX spectrums from China, Wayne. For capacitors, it's really important to get quality ones. I know some people use only Panasonic, for example. I like to use VisAs and ZX spectrums, of course. But buying cheap capacitors is really not a good thing to do, because there's a lot of bad quality stuff out there. Maybe old stock, and they dry out, you know. So. And the VisAs are really expensive, that's true. But there are other brands that are good, but I will not buy them from China. Oh, the single capacitor. I think I will just heat it up a bit more. I'm using leaded solder, but the problem is it's hard to reach from here because of this shape of the solder stuff. Cannot reach it. I'll just try solder wick then. Let's see what it does. It's almost open, but not quite. Maybe we can try once more from the other side. I'm watching Stranger Things again, so the other side with my son this time. Looking forward to season 4 this year. Hey, Ronnie, good evening. I'm not sure, Lewis, if I agree, because sorry, I should put that in the volume, did you think? Because I've had some cheap capacitors that caused a lot of ripples on voltages, which were noticeable in the picture, in the video of the ZX Spectrum. So I learned from that. So only if you buy them from respectable sellers, companies like Conrad or Farnell or something, I think it's okay then, but not Chinese stuff, if you ask me. Oh man. Okay, let's wait a couple of seconds. It's a good, no, it's not a good soldering iron, but for these kinds of things it should be enough. There's one other way of doing it, and it's just put in new capacitor lag. It works as well. I'd like to just open the hole. We'll do the easy way. We'll do the easy way in a second. Yeah, that's a good idea, Ronnie, but I'm lazy. It's a bad design. Right. So, a couple more here. You can reach those easily from the top side. Oh. So I thought I need to do back, obviously, because I think there's a ground plane on one of the pins here as well. Which one is it? Let me check. This one and this one, yeah, it's a ground plane, as you can see. But that one is easy reachable, so that won't be a big problem. I remember I used a PCB holder of some sort in the past. Still wind. Okay, I will put on out the microphone first. I hope I'm not getting allergic for ZX Spectrums. Allergic to, I know. Yeah, toaster board takes some more time compared to the 48K, but I still like it. Alright, this is the one with the ground plane, and this one we really need to do from the bottom. There's no other way. Oh. Right, so couple done, loads more to go. Let's try to speed it up a bit. Maybe I should be more careful with the boards. I am careful with the boards, by the way, but it might not look like it. most damage can be done is damaging tracks or pads on the board, which is really awful, but even I did it sometimes, and even sometimes it still happens, especially if the quality of the board was bad. Alright. This is perfect. This is won't go. This won't move anymore on the board itself, on the wires. This is perfect. So let's get to this side here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 here, and and 1 just below it, and 2 behind that. Okay, let's get these out first. Have you guys seen the photo of the women that were testing ZX81s on Facebook yesterday, I think? Cool picture. It's cool to see how they did it back then, because you would just think that they will assemble boards with machines as much as they can and then do some functional tests, but they actually did tests with oscilloscopes and more back in the days, even with the ZX81, which was cool to see on the picture. Only one picture. One picture said a lot. And the first fault with the picture was how did Sinclair pay for all the work, all the labor, because the machines were so cheap. And if you see that they seem to have done a lot of tests, maybe not all of them, maybe just for the picture, I don't know. I wonder how much it actually cost, how much profit there was, or how much margin there was on the ZX81. I don't think that could have been much because of the parts. Okay, of course there were only 3 parts, but one of them was a ULA chip, so that was not the most cheap one. But it's very cool to think of those eras. Now, come on, get open. Yep. And then I did a RIP AY video last week, which was a lot of work, but also a lot of fun to make. I did my best to give some good background, and of course the goal was to introduce people to the AVR-AY clone. And after the video I found out that more people were working on new versions of that clone, and I already also have I'm not sure what the name was, an AMX32 or something like that. Forgot the name, but it's also a clone of a Y chip, but it uses a more complex controller. Forgot the type, and I couldn't get the prototype working, so I have to check that again. But obviously the AVR solution, the microchip AVR microcontroller, which is on the AVR-Y, is very cheap. Easy to assemble, relatively easy, and so for now that is a perfect solution for the scarce to obtain original Y chips. I still get them. Actually, I found a broker which has something like 100 left, which is good, and got a couple more addresses. But I really have to get to the clones. And as you may have heard, the Yamaha version of the Y chip can be compared to the original Y, and it's not that it's a bad chip. It's an even more complex chip with some higher resolutions on some features. But the problem is that it won't sound the same as an original one. That's the problem. Alright, so this corner is done, I think. Just have to clean it a bit and thoroughly look if there are no solder joints or something. We have to do reset capacitor and 2 here. I think that should be it. Yeah, hope so. Let me check the chat. Is it Euro sticker common? Don't know. I wonder. I think I've seen more. I'm not sure. I have more toast race here, but okay, let's share another link. Right. Loads of people watching, by the way. Yep. Live stream. Edit. Check out my RIP AI video. Right. Saved. Almost 5,000 views on the RIP AI video in a week, so that's cool. Let me check. There are a few videos of Timex in Dundee. Oh, you mean share the link of the photo, okay? That's on Facebook, I don't know. I have to check. You can try to search for it, I don't know. No, I've not missed it, but I didn't have time for that, sorry. Damn, I need more time for that. The new YY chip is perfect, and I'm talking to Ant, who's working on an even better version for production of that one, if he's ready with it. But in the meantime, we will use the AVR AY. Yeah, and then at least something like 4 people making the AVR AY. So I really need to check the Home Computing Museum interview with Bart. I still have some machines for Bart as well here, some ZX Spectrums for him to sell there. So I have to give him a visit soon as well. But it's quite a bit of a challenge, of course, with the current situation worldwide. I cannot just get in there. I need to make sure it's safe. So, all on time. Right. Let's first work on this board, and then the plus board. Come on, get out. Sounds like a tooth being pulled. Actually, it doesn't make any sound. Not that I remember. It just feels odd. So it's been a year since people were working from home. There was a video on my company where I work now about that, and someone had balloons on his chair because of that at home, obviously. And as I said a couple of days ago, or yesterday I think, I've gotten used to the crazy situation we're in, because my daughter is now back to school full-time, and my son part-time, so he's a lot at home still. It's not a problem. Actually, I would have liked to make a decision myself if I would let them back to school, but there's no way of doing that. skeptical about if it's safe or not. There's always a risk. But anyway, but things are slowly returning to normal, if you can call it that. It will take some time, of course, until everything is sorted out, until everyone is vaccinated, and we'll see about that. But I'm used to the situation, and we'll just live with it. I think it will be strange when something in like a year or a year and a half or something, when you can get back to your office and you actually meet the people. I actually haven't seen most of the people, only one actually, in real life, because I did a online application and I was hired, and that's it. And I work from home, so it's a bit strange and the first time for me, and it works. Sinclair, stop using ground planes. I think they stopped with that. I think we can safely say they stopped with that. Not sure if Amstrad did it. Right, that's looking just fine. That's no big deal. Just have to clean it up a bit, give it a brush, make sure there are no solder blobs, as I call them. Let's see. Did we take out all of the capacitors and all the pins? I think so. So let's do a quick brush first with this one here. Whoa, there's a lot of dust coming out. I think I have to open a window. I have a extraction hood here, so it's no problem. And it's powered on. Oh, it looks a lot cleaner now. It's just dust, it's nothing special. Then the other brush here. Around the pins, where pull them out, remove any blobs. And I will also use, I could use it later on, but I will remove some flux residue here. Right? Yeah, it's the most important one. Okay. The capacitor mats. Did I bump the camera too much? Oh man. Sorry. Let me check the chat in the meantime. Ouch. If you're going, there should be some printer ink. Yeah, I still have a printer ink ribbons here. Yeah. We're in the back and waiting for a visit to Helmond and bringing the machines as well in. It's on the floor. I can see it from here in the Jumbo bag. I'm not forgetting those. I hope. I hope I'm not forgetting those. All right, let's start with 1 microfarad. And you can see I put in the label first. These are the older ones, so you always use the older ones first. What's old? Because I think I will use these in half a year or something. But with capacitors, it's relatively important to use as new as possible, but not that important with these ones. These are the best quality ones ever. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to look at this map here, not that one. Anyway, this one here. Okay, so one here. Sorry, these are the 22s. I need the ones. Almost made a mistake there. And now the board will become blue, which does look a bit odd at first. Blue capacitors on Star Trek, but in the end it's still nice, if you ask me. I'm very careful with soldering because I don't want to create any bridges. Okay, That one here is a green one, a 100. And the 100s are really expensive, over €1 each from Frise. So I also get these wider ones here, but these work only fit in 40K boards, not here. Those are slightly cheaper, so hence same brand, same quality. Right, another one on top. Oh, that was the hard one, so we have to wait for it for a second. First, let's do this one here, which is a 22, aimed upwards. Okay, let's do some cutting. The side cutter. I should buy a new one. This one almost needs to be replaced. I might leave the table with the testing setup where it is for the weekend. I think so, because I probably will do some more repairs. The loads need to be done, but there's also some other stuff, like I need to process messages very quickly because people are waiting for that. Okay, let's get to the tough one here. So we'll cut one leg to get it in more easily, and we'll use some more excessive amount of solder. And we'll try it the hard way. I'm not sure if this is the easy or the hard way. It's not cooperating with me. So let's see if we can get it in. Stupid capacitor. Stupid board. Stupid hole. You could say this capacitor doesn't want to reproduce. Maybe that's it. Where's the hole? There it is. Yes. Yes, it made it. Found the hole. Okay. That was a bad joke, I know. Yes, I'm based in the Netherlands. We're not allowed to say Holland anymore. But there's no problem sending it anywhere, because shipping is picked up again during February. I think most is okay now. Last time when I did some shipments to the UK, I told people that it could take up to 2 weeks, and most of them got it within 4 days or something like that. So that was good. I don't like huge blob, but it's on a ground plane. It's not a big deal. I think I will leave it that way. All right, one on top, which is a 47 one, axial. Oh, other way around. And this one is not made the correct size, so I have to bend the pins a bit. That's better. It's a pity that the reset wires always moving around because it's not on the board. Why didn't Sinclair just put it on the board? I don't know. I really don't know. Alright. Okay, next one. These two are 22s, I guess. Yep. Okay. You can see the fumes are extracted to the right. There's also a blower fan on my left side. I'm not sure if you can see it, by the way, but maybe you can. Maybe you can, because it's quite obvious, and it's important for your health. Okay, the static fire has been cancelled. It seems the road is opened again. Too bad. Today's test cancelled, it says. Too bad. Would be quite fast if they had done it, so it surprised me already. Okay, 2 more 47 microfarads here. And these are a bit wider than the originals, just a bit, so it's a tight fit. Not the biggest deal, we can get them in. There's enough space around them, so we'll just push them a bit to the side. Oh, you can barely see it. Let's move it here. These two. I really hope I can do more of those videos that I did last week, because I would really like it a lot if I can do in-depth videos about ZX Spectrum stuff or other retro stuff, but mostly ZX Spectrum. There's enough to talk about. Like for example, I would like to refurbish my C5, Sinclair C5. I guess it will be a lot more work than I can imagine at this moment. But it would be cool to do that on a video, of course, because I'm not sure if anyone has done it. Could be quite useful. I know some people who know a lot about them, so that's a help, but it would be nice if there were some videos about it. 22. Down there, let's see, plus on the bottom. Okay, I think most of the capacitors are in, except one in the corner. That one here, which is 100, I think. Let me check. Yes, 100. Oh, this one. Oh. Okay. All blue capacitors on them. Nice. Let's see, did we get them all? 2 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 2 here. Here is 1 missing, 1 microfarad for the reset. And these are all on, so just 1 left. And we'll quickly test the board and see if it's working. But before I do that, I will just give it a quick look with the magnifier. Okay, it's nice. Let me do a quick check, inspection. Where's my small brush? Also made 10 stereo kits. You can see the camera here, the parts for, oh, you cannot see it. Some parts here for stereo kits. I made 10 of those today because I opened up those that product offer as well in the web shop last week. I see a solder bridge, or is it just flux? I think it's just flux. We'll give it clean to make sure. Yeah, the blue clips look cool, but it doesn't. It's not the original look, so opinions may vary. Which one was I looking at? Sure. I consume loads of alcohol. It sounded like fireworks outside. Not sure what it was. Right. The good thing is that the silk screen will not be affected by alcohol IPA, so that's not a big deal using that. There's a small blob attached to the board, which is important to remove because otherwise it can just move around. We don't like that. No, I'm not I am replacing the regulator, but with the same type, but just a new one. Because I don't have 2 ampere DC-DC converters here at this moment. And it's not a big deal using the original one, it just get a bit warm. But mostly if you're using new 78 SO5, the 2 ampere version, it won't get that warm compared to the original one, old one. There's still some left there. It's hard to reach, but that was the gun. Right. Okay. I'm taking the time required to do this properly, not to make any mistake with short circuits or something. Right. Ah, that one. That one. I needed to do this one here. Really hard to reach. Just underneath the leg. It's just flux, but I want to make sure it's nothing special. No problem. Okay. Right, so let's do a test. And for that we get to the test corner. I don't have any Traco 2 or 1.5 ampere versions here, so I use an SO5, the second new one. Okay, doing it just fine, which is a good thing. Next will be replacing the regulator and what else do we need to do? I have a checklist somewhere, so we'll check that in a minute. The heatsink, of course, here. Oh, it's hard to reach them. Let me see if I can reach them. I will have to, so a lot of boxes waiting for people here, so need to make some space. Ulays. Ulays. Yeah. Okay. So because the die of the ULA chip is just a small piece of the chip, it's around here. This heatsink will be enough, and I will use Arctic silver for that this time, and some super glue to get the heatsink on, which is quite hard. This needs to be done. And it's hard to adhere the heatsink to the chip because you cannot reach the sides at this moment. Otherwise I should get it out, and that's a lot of work. It's a 48 pin chip. So we'll just use the top and bottom, which should be enough. But you need to be careful with not applying too much glue, otherwise it will get messy. But it's an important step to prolong the life of the ULA chip. And these are not available anywhere anymore. These are the same as in the Grey Plus 2, by the way, so you can of course always use one of those if needed, but obviously otherwise you will need a replica. Okay, there's one side. We just need to wait a bit until it solidifies. Yeah, it's going fine. Just have to wait a bit. So that's one of the most important things when refurbishing a machine like this. And as many of you know, the 48K models all have the ULA chip on the socket. And if you add a heatsink, then it will be too high to fit in a rubber key case. Hence you need to remove the socket of the ULA chip then. Okay, let's wait a bit. Copper one? Copper heatsink? You mean because copper heatsink is not a copper plate is not the same as a heatsink, of course. And this should get hot, of course. It should get warm to the touch, but it will spread the heat away from the die, which is important. And maybe I should see a bit of the thermal paste on the sides, but not too much. So this is a professional stuff for desktops, PCs, CPUs. I've tried copper plates, and Ian Gladhill and I have discussed it quite a lot. And copper plates are mostly not enough. It will spread the heat a bit, but not enough. Heatsink is really required for these ULA chips to keep working. Okay, so we've done most of the things. Let me get the checklist here. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Let's clean the edge connector, why not? And then we'll get a 78SO5 after that. I think I will also use my glass fiber brush for this, because it's bit more dirty than I would want to make it, give it the best contact possible. This is always good to do. Not too much, otherwise it will reveal copper. It's now still tinned, which is good. Copper can corrode, you know. Won't get much better than this. And for really dirty contacts which have corroded already, you can use very fine sandpaper. But mostly this is just fine. If people are starting to send super chats more and more, I have to read them, of course, so we'll do that. If there are any chats, by the way, I will check that in a second. Must be a way of finding the super chats, I guess, but we'll see about that. Alright, so that's cleaned, and because it's gloss wire, I always get rid of the paper immediately, tissues. Alright, so this board is, I think, about done. At least the board is. Comes with video output, it's not applicable to this one. Clean the edge connector, replace all capacitors. I think we've done that. Just checking. Okay, checked for correct relay, but I not applicable. Replace the regulator. Let's get a new one here. So we got loads of all types. So these are Recon ones. These are slightly less expensive than the Traco Power ones, so these are the most well known. But the Recoms are as good, and I only still buy Traco Powers for to put on the web shop because people know the Traco Powers, hence I also offer these in the web shop. But I use mostly these in refurbishment nowadays. And I got some new 78 SO6 here. Sorry, SO5s obviously, for to replace on the heatsink. Some people also apply thermal pastes on the 7805. I'm not sure that's really needed. I've even seen some thermal pads. I'm not sure if that's necessary. Could make a slight difference, but not much, I think. Let's bend the pins a bit already. The other ones are slightly shorter, so that's it could be in the way of the screw, but I think it's just fine this way. So do you guys put thermal paste in the 7805 on the +2 or toast rack at least? Right, let's make some space. Let's check the checklist. We're refurbishing a toast rack, happy little diodes. Good evening. Okay, let's check the checklist again. Composite video, improved composite video will not do that because we're not using the video output, we're using ZSHD in this one. Make sure R73 is in place. For some add-ons it's needed, and it's not in place, so we'll put in a 1K5. This is standard refurbishment on the toast rack. I'm not sure which applications require that. I forgot, but there are some. It was about the SLAM ULA chip, the replacement ULA chip that required the 1K5 there. The thin film, yeah, okay. Alright. Maybe I should do that as well. Triggers clash with the capacitor anyway. Okay. Keep it warm. I'm sure I will get into the trick of power there, but nice. Okay. Blue. The colors are a bit over exaggerated on the on the camera at the moment, but blue is blue. Looks nice. This is as good as it gets. Not moving at all, that's perfect. Let's put in the 1K5. Oh, top heavy. So this is just a preparation for the future if it will ever be needed. If this board should get a replacement ULA chip like the SLAM ULA, then this resistor is already in place. Okay, let's check the checklist again. Let's put the board on the hotspot because it looks so good. I really love those boards. Anyway, let's check run full diagnostic. We'll be doing it in a second. Let's do some testing. Well, let's do that. Okay. Hey, Jan. Good evening. So I already have obviously the ZX die card in place, and we got a diff MMC here, Pro Mini. And what else do I need to test? The diff ID interface we can get as well, and it's not really needed to test on a toast rack, but on 48K machines it's needed to test because some 48K ROM chips will need a modification on the board to work. What else do I test? Tape input and output. No, tape input is the most important one. Unfortunately, I got some dust. I got a portable one on batteries, which is just fine. Right. And let me check. ULA temperature we'll check, so we'll leave it on for a minute, and we'll test the keyboard and all good stuff. And of course check M1, but we'll do that. We're using a diff MMC interface, which uses the M1 line. All right. Let's first do a quick test with the new 7805. All right, perfectly working. Let's do a die card test. And the final testing will be done when the case is cleaned, because when I assemble it with the new keyboard, I need to test, of course, obviously the new keyboard and such. So I will not write down the test results right now. We'll do that later. But I'm not showing you the correct camera as well, so let's move to there. Yeah, ZX is ULA Plus ready, and there's some good news. Imre Jakli sent me an email last week that he saw the AVRY video, RipAVY video, and got some ideas because he checked out the source code of that solution, and had some ideas that maybe it's still possible to add it to the ZX HD with some new firmware, but it will take some time to develop, and we'll see about that. Also Timex modes and beeper sound and that sort of thing. I'm not sure if it can be done on the current ZX HD version. We'll see about that, because it might require some changes on the ZX HD board. We'll see about it. I won't do a card modification, Peter, because the user is going to use ZX HD. So we'll leave the video output, and I don't think for RGB there's a fix needed on this board, I thought. Not on Toastrek, as far as I know. Okay, let's do a test. It's quite loud. Alright. Yeah, I like ULA Plus, but the ZXAG is perfectly fine with all the modern games with ULA Plus. It just doesn't store some registers for ULA Plus, which is only needed for 1 or 2 games or demos, and it doesn't support timeless modes yet. So maybe in the future we'll see about it. I really hope we can do it, especially sound, which would be perfect, of course. Maybe if the board requires some changes, I can only sell the part with the changes, the board part with the changes, for an upgrade, which could be an idea for people already owning a ZXHD. And we've sold 892 of them already, so loads of people using one. Hey Marek, good evening. Goedenavond. Okay, the test all passed, which is great. Let's see about the M1 test. Oh, I forgot to ask. No, well, we'll use ZXAG. We'll ask the owner if he wants a stereo kit in his Toastrek, which obviously requires a small hole edit, and I personally wouldn't do that anymore, but some people still do. Let me ask him. Oh, wrong page, Facebook. So this demo is looking for the next part, but because I just loaded the snapshot, it's trying to load it from tape, which is quite cool. But alright. Yeah, 80 columns, but we'll see if it will work, because it's quite quite a change, of course. Let's load up another demo. Why not? Wait, we still have another interface. Oh, we can do some video tunes. That would be cool. But I need a keyboard for that. So let's grab my brand new mechanical keyboard with real. Oh, the keycaps are quite hard with real cherry red switches on them. It's the best keyboard ever. It just doesn't fit in anything yet. So we have to check if there's any case where I can put it in, but for testing this is just fine. It's not a big deal, as you can see here. Right. What I'm taking here, I was thinking of using the div IDE. I'm sorry for that. So div IDE supports div video, which is a very cool way of playing back video with audio, except with an original Toastrek, the sound has to be up completely. Hey, oh, it's just a button problem. Otherwise you won't hear anything, because it's really too soft. Lost Jedi, what's that? Lost Jedi, let's see about that. Should be working. Yeah, it's working. Not sure if there's much sound in here. It's really... Okay. I think I will get a ZXAY to have some proper sound output. Just a second. So this is a video with 20 frames per second and audio. on the ZX Spectrum. Yeah, it will work. But the sound output on the original Toastrick is way too low volume. This one here. Let's get a ZXAY and see if it works, because this is the AVRY solution. Let's see about it. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So no need for a internal stereo kit, because the owner has a ZXAY already. Oh yeah, we have Fortnite here. I got a victory royale, by the way, for today. Let's play some Fortnite. It's better. Can you hear it? So we're playing Fortnite on the ZX Spectrum. This looks so great. You can hear it, I think. Can you? Alright, that was a Fortnite on the ZX Spectrum. Hey, Brian, good evening. Owen, good evening as well. Did I say good evening to you, Owen, already? I don't know. Alright, let's get another one. Oh, I bumped the camera, sorry for that. What else do we have here? We have Justin Bieber. Fortunately, he's not in picture. Come on, guys! Don't chat while these girls are on. Isn't this cool? Watching a video on the ZX Spectrum. I think it's fabulous. Sorry guys. Oh, I have to reset it first. Do I have a reset button somewhere? No, I don't. Oh, I have, of course. I have a reset button here. When it's playing, you cannot interrupt it. Oh, wrong button. What else do I have here? Star Trek. Which one is that? I don't know. It's the Enterprise. I think it's one of Netflix. Oh, it must be Discovery. Yeah, it's Discovery. I don't like Discovery. These are not demos. I just converted these videos to DVO format for the video, and you can play them on the ByteDelight interface on the ZX Spectrum 128K model, but not on a DiffMC, because it really requires the parallel bus of the ByteDelight interface. So you can use a compact flash card, or maybe you can use an SD card and a compact flash adapter. But it's really cool. This is really cool. And I think I converted it when the series just started, but I I really didn't like the series. But it works, and it's reliable, and the heatsink gets a little warm, which is good. It takes away the heat. This one as well. There's a lot of add-ons on this board right now, and it's really not getting that warm. It's really still almost cold. So this is great. As long as it's CBS, I probably won't like it, Ronnie. Anyway. No, it won't work on a 48K, Lewis. So you need a 120K model and a div IDE interface. And if you're looking for div IDE, I still offer that in the web shop. So. Eastern European. Yes, I have one Eastern European clone. Let me check. You have one for myself and the same one from Mark. And I need to work on Mark's one. Mark is in the chat as well, I think. He was. Not sure if he still is here. Anyway, not many. There are other people like Mark and more in Holland and elsewhere that got loads of clones from all over the world. But I really like to discuss what kinds of clones were made in Russia and Ukraine and other places. And I was talking about those with Andy Karpov last week, who sent me the AVRY, which is on the board here, on the ZXAY here, which he grew up with. So he built his own ZX Spectrum, which is quite cool. Back in the days, 1980, 1982, something like that. Because there weren't any machines from Eastern Europe Western Europe allowed in Russia there. So they have to build them themselves, and they really made clones, which is quite cool. Alright. I think I will end the toast track refurbishment now here, because I need to clean the case, which I will do later. And I hope I can find some rubber feet for this. But I'm not sure. I will put it here for a second because we can do the plus, I think, or will I do it tomorrow? I will do it tomorrow because I know already when this is being picked up. I just forgot to do a test with the tape recorder, but I will do it tomorrow as well. But we did all the refurbishment on this board. It's quite time consuming, as you've seen. But the board is good to go for another 25 or 30 years or something like that, maybe more. I hope more. There's no reason for it getting bad or something like that, as long as it's stored in a good place. So nothing like humidity or something. Right. What else can I do tonight? So tomorrow we'll continue on with the other machine from him, which is in the box here. Let me check. This one here. We could do a quick test at least. Let's do that. Let's do a quick test. Can't do any harm. And it has an output for a composite video on the side. Probably will take the signal from the modulator input. And this will probably just work as well. That's what I expect at least. The only problem is that the keyboard is not working properly. So indeed it requires a new keyboard membrane as well. And I can see some stuff going on in the picture. It could be just a cable. I think it's a cable. And the picture is a bit dark on the top, so maybe that will be solved with new capacitors. We'll see tomorrow. So I will be back tomorrow morning. I don't think it will be too late, so something like 9 o'clock or so. And yeah, of course I will, Mark. Can I show you people around what's left? I don't have any. There's some last names on here, but not that many. I can do it, I think. Let me just unplug this one here. So we have some on the ground, as I said, there and behind the desk, and loads of them on the shelves here. And I think only first names are shown, no, not all of them. And of course the stuff from Wayne. Wayne is waiting for a long time here, which would need to be done as well. And some smaller stuff there, Mark Pepper's MC interface, which need to be done, and some other stuff. So there's loads of things to be done, which I want to do within a month now. I don't want to keep people waiting any longer. So, Why the Specky so dirty? Ask the owner. I will give it a clean, but not on camera at this moment. If you guys want to, I can do it, but it's really not that special. I've made many photos in the past of cleaning ZX Spectrums. I tend to do something like 10 or 20 cases at once, because it's the most easy thing to do. That's for punishment. This is a bit dirty indeed. The keys are a bit yellowed. I don't think I will get it off. It's not a big deal. If it's clean, it's clean, you know. Alright, so guys, talking about Fortnite, I think I will do one other round like that. Now I will never use a washer machine for cases. I won't do that. I will just do it by hand. Rubber key mats can withstand a lot, but cases I'm not sure about it. The main important thing about cleaning cases is never use alcohol in it, or other stuff like acetone or something. Don't use this on cases because it will dissolve the top finish of your case. It will get worse. Other stuff like white spirit or something like that. Don't use it, please. Mainly use water and soap. That's good enough, and a soft towel, brush, or something like that. Sponge. That's good enough. Alright. I will see you guys tomorrow, I think. Hope you like this. And nothing special about SpaceX at the moment. No. And I was watching the Starlink mission from yesterday. 60 more satellites in space. But enough for now. I will talk to you guys later tomorrow. So bye, and thank you for watching, guys. Bye bye. Oh, I forgot about the super chats. Let me check. Can I see the super chats somewhere? Nope. Where can I see them? Where can I find the super chats? I have no idea. Support ByteDelight? No, I just want to see them. Can I see the super chats? I have no idea. Maybe in YouTube Studio? I can give it a try. YouTube Studio, let me check. Where's my live video on YouTube Studio? I can't find it. Must be somewhere. Yeah, I've heard about a new album, but it's not out yet, is it, Mark? Just ring it. New episode for all mankind. New episode? New episode of what? Oh, I wonder. I'm looking for the super chats. Let me check. Responses. Can I filter here for super chats? Nope. Nope. Why can I? It's really hard to find. Amazonia, yeah. Okay, April, yeah. I was wondering about if there are any excerpts from the new album from Jar. I haven't heard about it. I have no idea how it will be. Let me check. Content. Live. Yeah? Can I see the super chats here? I can't. Edit? I can go to edit, but there's no way of finding super chats. Where can I see super chats? I can move up, of course. Chat in a new window. What happens then? It pops out, but I cannot. Oh, top chat. Ah, the live chat, top chat. Nope. Live chat, top chat. There's no difference. I have no idea. I have no idea. I can't find any option of just looking at the super chats. I really have to look it up. Let me scroll up. I saw one. Wayne, thank you. Retro Robbins, £5. And yeah, that's it for tonight. But still, I think I need to do that. So I just did. Alright, guys. Yeah, okay. So no trance, techno. I like techno. I like trance. Trance especially. Have you seen, talking about trance, and then we'll end the stream. Have you seen David Guetta's live stream in Dubai? I liked it a lot. I'm planning it. I played it daily for about 2 weeks or something, which is really cool. Also, the lighting effects are awesome in the video, especially if you're using an HDR display like that one there. That 4K display there is HDR and really looks quite different when it comes to blacks and so. All right, enough of that. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Good evening. Bye bye.